Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Yes. Happy Halloween. It's Kinsman Cappy here. Oh, hang on. I got it here. Huh? Never had a fucking umbrella in my life. I never understood umbrellas, really. I mean, if it's pouring, you usually borrow somebody's umbrella. Never even tell me I take an umbrella. Anyway, yes. So, yes, lady. Yeah, calm down. I know, calm down. So, we have a video request, and if you have a video request or any kind of request for consultation, guidance, wisdom, pointing in the right direction, or swift kick in the ass that your parents were too fucking pussyish to give you, go to assholeconsulting.com and give me your money, and the old cat will take care of you. So we have another Clarey request, our Clarey Test request, and where'd it go? There it is. And if you don't know, let me explain what the Clarey Test is. For those of you who are new, although I think I'm going to stop explaining it all the time. You're just going to have to look it up. The Clarey Test is this test that I came up with many, many years ago, where it was basically 4 questions or 4 traits of variables I noticed about people, particularly politicians, that made me determine whether or not I'd want to support them. But then I found out this is a pretty good measure or metric by which to judge people in general. This doesn't mean that if you score a high score, which is a bad score on the Clarey Test, you're an evil person. I've met rich people who are politicians. Well, actually, I haven't met rich people who are politicians because I don't run in those circles. But we all know that this is not a universal thing, but it's a pretty good metric, especially if you're going to use to judge who you're going to vote for. And I found that if you don't have unlimited time and resources to use this as like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with that person. I'm not going to talk to them. I'm not going to invest with that person. So the 4 questions are this. What did you major in? Okay. The idea that if you major some worthless liberal arts humanity bullshit, you're obviously making this first statement to the world as an adult: I don't want to work for a living, and I want the rest of you to pay for me. I want the world to bend to my reality and my will, and I'm going to major in what I want, and you better fucking provide me a job. Instead of STEM, accounting, IT, the trades, whereas what does the world want, and what skills and abilities. So again, you see selflessness versus selfishness, okay? Not to mention you make more money as a STEM major. So there's also ego involved in that. The second thing, do you currently work in the real world? And the real world is defined, I used to just have it government, but there are other entities that are not the real world. So let's go with the fake world. If you work in the public sector, government, nonprofit, NGOs, education, I'd say ambulance chasing type lawyers, or this touchy-feely activists, or even the theater, some subsidized by the government, we are not adhering to the free market reality and demands and wants of the people, where you are somehow, at least in part, dependent upon coercion, where the government takes money from other people and gives you a grant or something like that. That is not working in the real world. The real world is where, you're a burger flipper at McDonald's. People demand that. You're the top IT guy over at IBM. People demand that. So it doesn't matter where you are in the income scale, low or high. It doesn't matter your class. It's, are you producing something that people want for a living? 3, are you, do you have any real private sector world experience? Do you have any real working experience? Again, this applies to, is the majority of your employment in the touchy-feely bullshit world? Or is it actually in the real world? Now, there are 3 exceptions. Cops, firefighters, and military. Okay, so if that's kind of real world, even though you would be public sector. And then the 4th one is, do you come from a well-to-do family? If you're rich, spoiled rotten, never had to work for a life, that's bad. So each one of those gets a point. You can scale them. People don't perfectly fit within those 4. But a score of 0 would be ideal. That means you truly do support yourself. You are working hard. You are a selfless, altruistic individual. Maybe not altruistic, but you're definitely working for what people want. And then 4 is basically the slime balliest of politicians like George Bush, Justin Trudeau, Barack Obama, these type people. Now, unlike previous requests, I actually am aware of who Laci Green is. She took an excerpt of me, and of course I'm an evil. So I'm aware of her. She is quite annoying. It's almost in my circles not to know of this person. And it's not because she's famous or nothing. She's just an annoying cunt. She's just, I mean, and it's not even that. It's so stupid. I mean, I've watched like a couple videos. I'm like, how? And then like, I think she got a thing on MTV. So I'm aware of her. I haven't done a full analysis of her because frankly, she's not worth my time. But let's go ahead and you know, just giving you the disclaimer. We'll look up Laci Green. We'll go to the Wikipedia page and we'll clinically apply the Clarey Test. So let's go to here. Okay, Laci Green, born 1989. American YouTube video blogger, public sex educator, and feminist activist. Okay, so she doesn't have a real job. Okay, there's a point right there. Maybe she worked at McDonald's. Maybe she worked landscaping when she was a kid. Shit, kid. She still is a kid. But when Green hosts Brawless, the first MTV YouTube channel, as part of a 12-week deal with MTV. First aired November 4th, 2014. So is it still going on, or is that... Okay. I don't consider that real. Well, that's not a real thing. That was an affirmative action. Here's some line. Green was born in Utah. Her mother was a Mormon. Her father was a Mormon convert who came from a Muslim family in Iran. 2 years old, moved to Portland. Her family moved to California for a job. Questioned Mormon faith because of strict gender roles. Expectation of women growing up. Interested in theater. Okay. Supported by her mother who owns a theater company. So the parents don't sound rich. Soon after leaving the church, she fell into a state of deep depression and struggled with self-harm and suicidal thoughts. And this girl is giving you girls advice. You're listening to this? Not even a full-grown adult, not even fully developed brain, already suicidal and okay, never mind. Work with therapists, help through depression. She's now atheist. Green is the closest identifier of her sexual orientation is pansexual. Oh God, you can't make it up. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. It is something people take. These 48 different flavors of gender. It's something they put on a badge and they say, see, look, I have value. Because doing this, putting a badge on and identifying with groups like atheism, which I'm fine, I'm agnostic. It has nothing to do with it. But like, I'm an atheist. Look, I say I'm an atheist. I'm pansexual. That's like, I don't want to work and do real shit for a living, so I'm going to derive value from a badge that takes no effort to, you know, I'm a dentist. Hey, that took something. I'm a pilot. Oh, that took something. I'm a pansexual. That didn't take it. That just required you to say you're a pan and to make that up. Okay, so girls, okay, you know, because no guy, well, God, heaven help you if you're a guy and listening to this. This is not a stable, sane individual. Activism. Green's videos were originally a hobby, but as they grew more popular, she took more interest in sex education. As of October 2014, YouTube channel had more than 1 million subscribers. As a sex educator, she has given lectures at several universities and on behalf of Planned Parenthood. Oh my goodness. See, and I'm even pro-choice, but this is... You have the blind leading the blind. You have an unstable individual teaching kids younger than her. I mean, she's pretty young. This is not a person who should be teaching on anything. And even I know, hey, look, I know this is on YouTube. I know I don't have anywhere near the subscribers, but at least I admit that this is not like me, you know, doing taxes or building cars. Oh, wow. Green is a former co-host of D News, a YouTube channel. Okay, we're writing off. You throw YouTube in that world of not real work. Okay, we're just gonna Discover News website. Blah blah blah. Dr. Phil advances sex positive. Okay, so there's nothing like she worked a real job and laid sod or something like that. So it's all fake online internet stuff. Death threats. Green received death threats via the internet after she used the pejorative term tranny in a video. That didn't even come from the right. That came from the left. And that's it. It's actually quite a short entry here. Alma mater. What did she study? Well, let's go here. Masters of Sex. Okay. All right. Okay. This is basically one. All right. So let's recap here and apply it. Any real world working experience? No. Does she currently work in the real world? it's not that she's worried. I mean, she's doing it on her own. Let's admit this. She is doing it on her own. She got to where she is by doing YouTube videos, and as much as I wanted to, I mean, it is free market. Let's give her half of, I'm sorry, she gets a full point for never working a real job. We're going to shave off, because you want to score low on this, so we're going to give her some credit where credit is due. We're going to take a quarter point off that her current work today is at least tangentially, or say 25%, based in free market demand. The rest of it comes from government handouts, affirmative action, universities, Planned Parenthood, all these government money, Dr. Phil, the BBC. This is all government money being taken from other people who never wanted to pay for this fucking bullshit and giving it to her. But that YouTube income it's private sector. It's true. So we're gonna shave. So you're only at 1.75. So no real working experience in the past. Currently, really not working a real job now. Worthless degree is 2. And does she come from rich parents? I don't think so. You got father was a Mormon, come from a Muslim family in Iran. Mormons aren't exactly known for their wealth. Let's do another thing here. Let's see if we can't peg down her parents. I mean, the mom ran a theater company, so it's not that much. Laci Green, Wikipedia. Why are there 2 entries? Oh, Green upbringing. And sorry for the research. Normally I would... Oh, what's this? A Voice for Men. Might be a little biased, but I trust him. So I noticed came out fluffy promoting versus star. Green was born in Utah but moved to Portland, Mormon household, became involved in a church. Question of faith, to sew and do crafts and babysit my male friends becoming leaders in the church. I'm not necessarily against her abandoning the church, I understand that. Why are you going to be leaders? Because God wanted to have a different special job. That's what happens when there's one thing I will side with Laci Green on, that's being a PK. You guys drive these kids so in extreme religions so far down the road, they'll turn on you. You guys are wishing you never did that to this poor girl. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go. Not rich at all. I don't know what her dad did. Maybe we'll just err on the side of caution and apply 0.5. So we're looking at a 3.25 if I did the math right. Not a great score. But I mean, in all honesty, she, let's be honest, she did not come from the blue blood. She is not, she doesn't hail. It's not like Daddy just paid for everything. There is an element, there is a true element of independent thought and entrepreneurship and independent spirit in this girl. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I guess what if anyone has a criticism on Laci Green, it's that she is just doing so much damage to the girls that listen to her. I mean, she's just wrong. And the irony, she won't see it, the irony, because a lot of atheists don't realize, you're merely trading in one religion for another. So she was brought up under a very strict religion. She rejected it. And then she went the total other extreme and made it her new religion to respond to the old one. I'm an atheist. You know these guys, atheist cult. I'm an atheist. Well, if you're an atheist, you wouldn't be all excited. Oh, I just don't believe in God, and then you go have yourself a sandwich. But these guys that are like, no, I'm a fucking atheist. I'm like the amazing atheist, and all these an atheist cult. It's like, what the fuck? Don't you have anything corny? And then again, you see it with the badges that have no merit, nowhere. I'm a pansexual. And then also this feminism thing, that is nothing more than a religion. And so whereas people who follow any kind of other religion, Mormonism, Christianity, Islam, whatever else have you, it's all based in bullshit, and there's no proof and no empirical proof of it. And that leads to ruinous lives and people wasting their lives on the planet. Laci is no different than an imam or a rabbi or a fire and brimstone preacher on the religious side of things that she tried to escape, but now she's just happens to be a priest of feminism. And feminism is not based in the reality either. And so what I'm afraid, like how religion ruins people's lives, she already probably has ruined many young girls' lives, especially with the platform she's been given. MTV giving her that kind of role. She has 1 million subscribers, although that's probably more of a testament that this is what a lot of young women think and they're going to follow Laci Green. You have someone who has mental issues, suicidal thoughts, no real work experience, no real adult living real world experience, and no real education either, who's teaching you about sex at the age of, what was she, 24 when she started teaching this? She doesn't look exactly like the type that knows a lot about sex either, okay? No offense, but she's not pretty. She's not a good-looking gal. So what my fear is my fear is the exact same thing that happened to Oprah. Let me tell you another little side story. This has, I apologize for the not smooth polish but these tests are not polished. It's just what comes into my mind. Oprah she's been retired for almost a decade now? But Oprah was the big thing back in the 80s and the 90s and in the aughts when I was growing up and a young man. And I always kind of kept an eye on these 5, maybe 6 gals that were like true Oprah fanatics. Oprah's word was God. Just that's it. We got to follow whatever Oprah says. And now these gals are old, all right? And they're approaching the end of their lives. They're older women. Maybe not. They're not going to die tomorrow, but death is looking them in the face in the next 10 to 15 years. Miserable. All fucking miserable. They listened to what this false god said. They didn't listen to empiricism, reason, debate, logic. They didn't listen to men. I mean, this feminism thing, there's some parallels between what Oprah says and this feminist religion. It's all female-based. It's all an echo chamber. It never, ever entertains the idea of including or incorporating, or at least entertaining, listening to what men want, or the nature of men, or the biology of men. It is a completely one-sided equation, and in this one-sided equation, we cut out everything else around the world around us. It's all female all the time, to the point you got nothing else to do but to come up with the Baskin-Robbins 31 flavors of gender, that it's no longer even applicable to the real world. And unfortunately, ladies, but this is an important lesson for you men too, what gives you value in life is other people. I'm not saying you become a conformist and do what the world tells you. Absolutely not. But you have to, if you want any value in life, if you want to have any happiness, you have to consider what other people want. I know one gal, she followed Oprah, oh my God, and now she's home alone, she hates the guy she's married to, no one wants to visit her, because it was all Oprah. You go, girl, listen, you follow your career, da-da-da-da. It was never like, well, maybe your grandchildren and maybe your children might like you not to talk about you sometimes. Maybe they'd like to talk about them sometimes. Maybe you do what they want to do sometimes. Maybe you ask what they want. Maybe you go to Disneyland. So not to say that Oprah said never go to Disneyland, but it is this horse blinders, narrow focus on oneself, which is the epitome of selfishness and egotism. Even egomaniacism or egomania, I guess is the correct. You're cutting yourself off from the rest of the world. So I mean, for what few women are going to listen to this, who you actually listen to Laci Green, stop. She's leading you down the wrong path. Feels good now. Feels great. You go, girl. You can do it. Okay. That's not going to fly when you want to have kids at 32 and you got to go find yourself a guy, right? And this body positive, I'm sure the whole fat acceptance thing is in there too. I don't even have to guess it. But she's leading you down a path that is not based in reality. And you may not like reality, and that's why you listen to Laci Green, because she tells you what you want to hear. But in doing that and actually believing it, you're believing in lies. You're believing in a religion that is just as well founded as Christianity. Oh, bullshit. What you got to do is look out into the real world and say, okay, and you have to assess yourself honestly. You have to be truly honest with yourself. What do I want? And I know you girls get just bombarded and brainwashed and propagandized about how you need to go out and get a job, and you're not a real woman if you stay at home and have children, and how dare, and men, and it's like, no, look, do you like dick? Do you like men? Do you like it if men are stronger, taller, and kind of open a door for you every once in a while? Is it, you could admit it deep down inside. I know it's all conformity with women, and you have to, okay, you did, okay, all right, we all agree on that, right? Oh, okay, all right, and if anyone deviates from this agreement, we kill her. Or we socially ostracize her. It's all right to say, no, I want to stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom and raise kids. Just as it's fine to say, no, I want to become a computer engineer or whatever else, and I don't want to have kids. No, I want to. You can do whatever you want. But don't make it seem like you have to do what the feminists tell you. All right? And so what? You say, no, you know what? Actually, I rather like men, and I like guys being in command, and I don't mind being the stay-at-home wife, and I want low taxes. I don't think the government should be like in charge of everything and pay for everything. But you have the right to say that. So it's up. Not my life. Not my life. Not mine. No. Not my. Thank God. It's yours. But please consider how you want to live your life. And really deep down inside, ask yourself, what do you want? It's all right if you want to stay at home and have kids. It's all right if you want to major in STEM and become an engineer. It's okay if you want to become an accountant. My God, you could even vote Republican if you wanted to. Shh. But if you never are true with yourself and you're going to use this as a substitute plan A, well, good luck. You're going to be miserable. Just like all those gals I know who watched Oprah and listened to what they wanted to hear and not what they needed to hear. That's why asshole consulting is so successful. Anyway, wishing all you the best of luck. Toodles.